Hello, my name is Jan, I am from France. I teach mathematics in an international school and I've been living in Korea for 24 years. And I will tell you about public design, especially some good points and some bad points here in Korea. Welcome to Buamdong. I've been living in Buamdong for more than 10 years. I really enjoy this area. It's full of nature, the mountains, and it's very close to the downtown. So it has all the advantages from the countryside and all the advantages from the city. And I think it's a perfect place to speak about public design. This is one of the most crowded crosswalks in this area. However, lots of people are not crossing here, they're crossing over there because they are confused with the markings. Over there is the official crosswalk, and here is the ancient road. These markings is to symbolize the ancient road that came from Jahamun behind us to outside of Seoul. However, this marking, as beautiful as it is often confused as a crosswalk, and lots of people actually cross here, and it's very confusing and can be very dangerous. When my children were very little, I taught them to stay behind the yellow line for safety, because as you can see, when we were going to school, there's no sidewalk and it could have been very dangerous, especially cars here, the road being quite wide, are sometimes driving very fast here. So I've been thinking a lot, because when they remade this road, they made it very, very pretty with this shaded area. But again, it's confusing. It looks like a sidewalk. So maybe if they could, make a small sidewalk, like about this thick and this high, and then people would know it's a sidewalk, but also it wouldn't bother the cars when they're side by side and they need to maneuver past each other when there's not a lot of people. And to my view, it would make everything much safer. Here we're in a school zone, and the good thing about school zones in Korea is that there are school zones. Unfortunately, unlike here, most of the time there is no sidewalk on the road, and the road is very narrow. So the children, when they come with their parents drive their cars. There's lots of children around, and it can be very dangerous. So I guess making sidewalks a little bit more mandatory would be a great idea for the safety of the children. These days I have to lose some weight, and I'm very happy that in lots of areas we have these exercising installations that anybody can use, either Korean or not Korean, and well, I use them a lot these days because I have to lose some weight, and that's a very good idea. And we don't have that much in Europe, and I think that's something in Europe we could improve, because this is very, very handy when you need it. Anyway, I have to get back to my exercise. I love toilets. I love toilets in Korea. But since then, there's been this toilet culture that came out, and now toilets in Korea are just incredible. They are clean, they are everywhere, and they're free. In France, for instance, it's difficult to find toilets, they're not very clean, and you have to pay to use them. So public toilets in Korea are actually very good. You can hear some music in there. There's also some installation for handicapped people. Everything is perfect. I love toilets. Here in Korea, a long time ago, you didn't have public benches, but you had these kind of areas in even in small villages where people would gather, have a meal together, would chat and laugh, listen to some music. And I'm glad that even today, this kind of beautiful buildings are made for everybody's use for free, where here, for instance, people from the mountain can come down, have a little rest before going home. And really I love these because they're very beautiful, they look very inspiring, they're very Korean, and well, that makes me feel I'm in another country, in a beautiful country, and yeah, look at this. This is really beautiful, and I love it. Ta-da! Here there's a little stage, and a long time ago, I did some magic show here with the other people who would do some music for the Jumin Center, and for me, it's a lot of memory, but also it's great that there's this kind of a place where little events for the community can be organized, and that's also a very nice design. And you can see that the landscape around is just wonderful. Wow! Wow! Look at that tree. It has some clothes. Actually, you can see that a lot in Korea in winter. And even if you go to Gangnam, to a place called Garosugil, it's not made out of straw, but people actually knit them like a sweater and put a very nice designs just to protect the tree from the very harsh Korean winter. And I always found that it gives the plants and trees around a very nice look and reminds us that winter is going to be cold. Look at this. It actually took me a while to figure out what it was because nothing is written in Korean. Then this is a cloth recycling box, and it took me a while to figure out what it was because, as you can see, there's no marking. So I've been told what it was, and then now I use it. But it's kind of confusing it was confusing for me at first because there's no pictogram, and even what you have to put or what you can put in there is written in Korean. And it's kind of difficult to figure out if you don't know Korean. So this is a very great idea. I love it, and we don't have that really in Europe. But just some more picture or something a little bit foreigner friendly would be great, because this is really something a very good point for Korea. This is also a Korean great idea. It's actually some salt you put on the road when it's snowy. And but what foreigners don't know is that anybody can use it to help their community. It's not reserved to some employees or some workers. Anybody can use it when it's snowy because it helps everybody. Because nothing is really written, I've been using it a lot because I know, but lots of foreigners don't know that they can help everybody by just using it. It's free to use and it's refilled regularly. So again, something great, but that could be slightly improved for us foreigners. So here I think people might think that the design is wrong because everything is written in Korean, but they are pictograms and most of them are common sense, what you should do or not do in a park. So I don't think there's a need to put everything in English or in any other language because we know that we shouldn't cut the trees, we shouldn't drink, the dogs are not allowed and others, you know, no cars, don't catch the animals. And so for me it's fine. I mean, this doesn't need to be improved. I mean, it's clear enough for anybody with a little bit of common sense. So one thing I'm gonna regret in Korea is that they're going to change the alien registration card into foreigner registration card. Some people didn't like it, but actually I found it quite funny to be a registered alien because of the movie. But there's also this great song by Sting, I'm a registered alien, like alien in an Englishman in New York. Anyway, also my number, my second part number, the first part is like Koreans, it's my birthday, and the other one is starts with a 5 and it's because I wanted to register to some websites, and lots of websites, for lots of websites registering is nearly impossible, and since everything is online and made with a computer, if the computer refuses, there's like no way we can do it, and calling the people is actually very, very difficult. This is Buamdong Community Center. It's the administrative center of this area, and I use it usually for when I need some paperwork to be done, or sometimes when I need to throw away some big things like furnitures and everything, where you have to signal it, put it in the street with a kind of a sticker, and you have of course to pay because this is big and you have to pay for it. It's completely normal. So you go to the desk and they give you this to fill. So this looks scary, but and if you're a foreigner, this might be very scary because everything in Korean, you have to fill up everything. However, despite the fact that everything in Korea is in Korean, people in this center are very friendly and very helpful, and they will try to help you if you don't speak Korean. They don't speak English usually, so it's up to you. But people are very friendly. It's not like a French administration, I would say, because in French administration people just don't want to be bothered. But in those little community center, people are usually friendly. They know you live in the area, and they're very helpful. Also, the little trick is you take a picture of what you want to throw away, because then they know exactly in which category you have to put it. So it's not a big deal. It's a little inconvenience, but not a big deal, because people always are very helpful.
버스가 잠시 후 도착합니다.
자문고개 윤동중 문학관. So this is a bus stop that lots of people have seen in Seoul. So just put the idea on your app and you can know exactly where you are. If the GPS doesn't know where you are, you can just put the idea here on your application. 20 years ago, taking the bus in Korea, it was quite a trip. You actually had not a very nice bus stop like this, but just a metal plate with a bus number. And you would need to know where your bus was going, when it was going, because there were absolutely no information except the bus number. You had to ask a friend or be used to it. And that was very, very problematic. Now you have this. And if you see, you have everything written even in English. It's not in English, but it's not necessary because it's very, very common sense to understand what it means. And you have also, it tells you if the bus is full or not. And you have now, of course, the network map with the important subway station written in green and in English. I mean, this has improved so much in 20 years. I'm very happy about it. And I never forget that actually Korean public transportation system is very well done, very clean and very cheap compared to other cities in the world. So it's great. After 24 years in Korea, I've seen lots of things change and a lot of things improved for foreigners. Actually, I'm very glad and I can feel the efforts that have been put to make Korea more foreigner friendly. There's still a lot of things to do and there will always be, but I think Korea has been becoming more foreigner friendly along the years. And I think also that the design is very important, and living in a place where foreigners and Koreans are actually as comfortable as they can be is a good thing for everybody, not only foreigners but also Koreans. And yeah, that's a very, very good point, and I'm very glad to have witnessed it. I wish everybody to stay safe and healthy during this pandemic. Take care of your family, of your friends, and be safe. Bye-bye, and thank you for listening to me.